Hello and welcome to the Vital Blend. My name is Anthony Vita. I'm so glad you could join me for today's episode. I want to introduce you to Christian Limoges. The first time I came across Christian was in this documentary called On a Scale of 1 to 10, The Silent Epidemic, which had to do with curing chronic pain through a whole plant diet. I found him to be the most fascinating part of the movie. One of the things that I love about Christian is how he talks about we as humans should be eating according to our body's design for optimal health, the same way that every other species on the planet does. He does not believe that we are what we eat, but rather we are what we absorb or do not absorb. And that the more that we stray from eating according to our own design, the more that our body becomes toxic and responds, trying to tell us what is wrong. And this is a language that Christian understands very, very well. Over the course of this interview, he will open your eyes and blow your mind and maybe have you thinking about your own body or your role in nature a little bit differently. So right now, let's meet Christian Limoges.
So being a naturopath means that we're always getting our knowledge from nature. So nature's path, the way of nature. And for a naturopath, like the one that I've been teaching to me and everything, they had 60 years of experience and 65 years of clinical experience. So these guys were amazing at making me understand that we are an extension of Mother Nature. We are the expression of the universal mind, the universal intelligence. And because of that, the body has the ability to heal, to regenerate, and to rebuild by itself. So our machine is an organic, living machine, able to rebuild, heal, and regenerate by itself. If you live according to the way you've been designed. The reason that I've been practicing as a naturopath for more than 38 years now is because of my mom. Because my mom was always saying that nature has the remedy. And she was always giving us herbs and, talking about nature and understanding that nature has the remedy always for whatever you have. And I have this passion. I'm very, very passionate about human beings. I love human beings. I love animals. I love nature. I love life. I'm passionate about life.
Yes, and I can definitely tell that. The way that I see it, we as humans, we seem to be the only species that can't figure out what it is that we're supposed to be eating. And all the diets that I see out there, I never see anybody talking about what we are designed to actually eat. People argue over that, but to me, it's pretty cut and dry, and it should be, right? I mean, what do you say about that?
So first of all, when you look at nature and you look at all the animals living in the wild, and you're looking at the way they've been designed, you see that according to the way they've been designed anatomically and physiologically, they will have a way of eating, not a diet, a way of eating that fits their species. So for example, a carnivorous, his intestines and bowel, his digestive system is 3 times the length of his spine. Why? Because we need to understand that nature is the expression of a universal mind. Why am I saying that? It's because a thought is a thing. So your car was designed by an engineer. Your house was designed by an architect. So when you're looking at nature, who's the mind behind nature? Well, the mind behind nature is the universal mind. Okay, so why is the carnivorous having a digestive system 2-3 times the length of his spinal cord? Is because he's not eating any fiber. So he's eating meat. His digestive system is very hot, very humid, like a human being. He's a mammal. So he needs to be able to digest, to break down the food, to digest and to eliminate as fast as possible before the meat will start to rot in his gut, producing tons of poisons and toxins that are going to back up into his blood and making him extremely sick. So when we look at nature again, and we look at other species, when you're looking at a horse or a cow, or you're looking at a deer or a moose, they're herbivores. So their digestive system is 32 times the length of their spine. So we have carnivorous 2-3 times. We have herbivorous 32 times. Why? Because they're constantly grazing on grasses. And if you put fruits and vegetables on a kitchen table and then you put meat, the first to start to rot, like the first food that is going to start rotting very fast, is the meat. So because they're constantly eating grasses, they have a very long digestive system because they've been designed to take the time to eat, digest, break down the food, absorb the food, utilize the food, and eliminate the food. So when you look at a human being, because everybody's confused about the way we should eat, we're the only living species that is confused about what to eat. And we're the sickest living creature on the planet at the same time. We're getting sicker every year. So then we look at all the animals. You see, being a naturopath is looking at nature, knowing that nature is the expression of an intelligence. And then we see that all of the gorillas, the primates, when we look at their inside, they're identical to human beings. And they're the only animal with fingers, and fingers have been designed to pick fruits and vegetables. So primates are eating 50% fruits, 46% vegetables, 4% protein. Human beings are eating 45% protein. Everybody's talking about protein, protein, protein. This protein myth is killing people more and more because we're eating way too much protein according to the way we've been designed. And that's the reason why human beings are so sick. It's because we just go with the mind. We eat what people are telling us to eat, but then the body responds by being sick, telling you that what you're eating is not the way you should eat.
And so all of these diseases that we see that people have, I mean, there's a long list of things that you could go through, but it's really just a manifestation of your body telling you, hey, you're not putting in the right fuel that we were designed for. And it's going to show itself in various areas, whether it's a skin issue or a gut issue, right? Or all these other kinds of diseases. And I want to talk about, you had said about the 4 different channels, which is important that we understand all of that. Can you kind of walk us through what those are?
Yeah, you have the bowels. That's the main channel of elimination, which doesn't mean that the other ones that I'm going to mention are not as important, but that's the one we focus on. So the bowel, the kidneys, the skin, and the lungs. So basically speaking, we're eliminating 24 hours a day toxins in the form of waste when I have a bowel movement, in the form of liquid when I pee, in the form of gas or liquid when I sweat, and in the form of gas when I breathe out. So your body is so hot that the food you eat is digested. It goes into your stomach. The stomach is blending the whole thing. Then it goes into the small intestines. Then the small intestine is about like 25 feet long. And then when the food goes into the small intestines, the food needs to be maybe like already half digested. So as a naturopath, we know, and I've been able to see it, my teachers were right. We are not what we eat. We are what we digest or don't digest. So because we're the only living species not eating according to the way we've been designed, for example, we eat a lot of protein. So because we eat protein, we cannot digest it. People think that whatever they put in their mouth, the body will be able to digest it. This is not true. So when the food is not well digested, the food ends up going into your gut, intestines, not being completely digested. So then bacteria takes over because nature wants to break it down and it's not completely broken down. And then bacteria will start decomposing the undigested food like for most of the people in North America, way too much protein. And when this happens, it's called putrefaction. So the meat will start rotting inside of your gut, which will give you body odor, bad breath. Some people go to the bathroom, it smells, it stinks. This is just signs that the body is like rotting inside. And when the food is rotting, like protein, it produces powerful poisons and toxins like skatol, indole, ammonia, which are cancer causing. And then the blood goes into the small intestines to pick up vitamins, minerals, antioxidants from the food. But the river of life, the blood, gets intoxicated and contaminated because you're not digesting your food well and you're not eating according to your species. And then these toxins will start spreading into your body. And then what happens is that because I'm not digesting well and I'm like rotting inside, toxins back up and then my cells respond. And when my cells respond, it's not a reaction, it's a response. We call it symptoms. So as a naturopath, I don't believe in disease. I've never treated disease in my whole career. I let people talk to me, tell me their stuff and everything, but I know the language of the body. The body is intelligent. It's the expression of the universal mind. And whatever happens, it never makes a mistake. We make a mistake by the way we live, what we give our body. So the only way for your body to try to communicate with you is with pain, a symptom, whatever, because you're so convinced in your mind that you're doing the right thing. We're way too much in the mind. So the body has no choice. It needs to try to communicate with you with what we call a symptom. So that's the reason why we see human beings becoming more and more sick. It's because we are completely disconnected from nature. And the price of this disconnection is what we call dis-ease. The body not being at ease. So instead of thinking that the body loses control and it's normal, that's what people think today. They come to see me and they think that the body has a problem. The body has no problem. The body is constantly on a moment-to-moment basis responding to you what you're doing. You make the mistake by thinking that it's your body making a mistake. So me, by telling people how their body works and everything, then people come into my office thinking that their body is not good. Some people say, I wish I could change my body. I've been sick for so many years. It's like they're saying it's not a good body. But when I start explaining the whole thing, then they get it. They say, oh my God, my body has been trying to talk to me, to communicate to me, to tell me that I'm not getting enough sleep, that I'm not getting enough love, that I'm not getting enough sunlight, but I'm not paying attention. So I'm trying to treat. So it's very important for people that are, like listening, that treatment means taking care of a problem without taking care of the cause. Don't forget about that.
Right. And I want to get back to what you were talking about, keeping your gut clean, because I know that you've got some products that you came up with and you've actually got your own plant, right? Like this is all natural stuff.
That's it. It's herbs that have been wildcrafted, organically grown, very good quality herbs. I have it here, like it's Limoges Health. So you have the flow. Okay, the flow is it's a herbal combination that have been known like for, I don't know, maybe thousands of years. And when you take it, it feeds the bowel wall. So your bowel wall is made up of trillions of cells. And when you don't eat the right food, guys, when I say not eating the right food, it's two things, okay? Too much protein. We should eat 4%. We eat 42, 45. And we eat complex carbs. Bread, pasta, bagels, muffin, cookies, rice. all of that stuff. So when you mix flour with water, it becomes gluey. So complex carbs are gluey and sticky. So this is what happens. We come on this planet as a frugivore, and then we start eating tons of protein and tons of carbs. So we have the carbs creating the glue on the wall of the bowel. And then we have the protein getting stuck to the wall because we're eating a lot of gluey and sticky stuff that is retaining the food that we're eating. So usually the food should stay inside of you for 18 hours. Okay, so it's called the transit time. So when I'm eating and I'm eliminating 18 hours. Why? Because it's hot and humid inside. More than 18 hours, the food is going to start fermenting and rotting. In North America, the average time is 144 hours. 144 hours.
Wow.
Okay, so people go every day, but what they're eliminating today is coming from 6 days ago. So most of the people have about 20 meals inside of their gut waiting to be eliminated on a daily basis. So that's why people have like bloated stomach, they don't feel good, they have acid reflux, they have neck pain, lower back pain, sciatica. Telling you, most of the problems are like related to the gut. So when you clean the gut, you eat more fruits, you eat more vegetables. So when you eat fruits and vegetables, you eat fiber. So fiber is a broom. And that broom has the ability to eliminate all the crap, the mucus, the glue that you've been accumulating on the bowel wall. So when you cook a vegetable or fruit to make a jam, then it becomes all soft. So fiber do not work when food is cooked. So there's no such thing as a high fiber bread. Doesn't exist. You know, like the moment you cook something, the fiber becomes soft. It can no longer be a broom. Okay, so one of the reasons why our gut is very toxic is because we eat cooked foods, we eat too much protein and too much gluey and sticky stuff, complex carbs. So when you start eating fruits and vegetables, you're putting more broom. And the water in the fruits and vegetable is water that have been energized by the sun. So it's living water. The reason why we need to drink a lot of water, and very often it's not the best water that we're drinking, is because people are eating a lot of bread, pasta, bagels, muffin, like protein. All of that stuff is very low in water. So when I'm eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, I'm getting the water that I need. And this water is unique. You cannot buy that kind of water. It's living water. It's water that is alive. It's going to become part of your blood, of your lymphatic system and everything. There's no such water. I'm telling you, like one of the reasons why people are getting better when they eat fruits and vegetables raw and making juices and smoothies is because of this raw water, this living water that is amazing. So when you remove this, it's called mucoid plaque. It looks like dark rubber. It's been inside of you sometimes for 25, 30 years. So when you remove it, the bowel, because you have gas, the bowel expands. So most of the human beings' colon and small intestines are completely deformed. So then you take flow, and the flow will make the movement of the bowel stronger. It will get like kind of like firmer, and it will feed the wall to give it back its integrity. Then you have FIBE, Limoges Health. FIBE is a unique fiber. It's coming from herbs. It's not like fruits and vegetables. It's called a mucilaginous. So don't forget that herbs are food. So don't compare herbs with meds. Herbs are food. So this mucilaginous fiber expands in the water. So when you mix it in the water, it expands. And then when it goes into the gut, it will exchange the water with the mucoid plaque, with the mucus that is stuck on the wall. The mucus will expand, will become softer because it will rehydrate that plaque. And then the plaque will slowly detach from the colon. and then you're going to start getting rid of it. You see it. You see it in the toilet bowl. It's like black, and then sometimes it's mixed with like fresh stools, but you see it. It's like very like like different. But the body has a lot to eliminate because we've been eating like gluey, sticky food for so many years. And then you have this one here, Vibe. Vibe is powdered, concentrated chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is like kind of like the liquid sunshine, and aloe vera. So the whole leaf of aloe vera in powder form. So this is extremely alkalizing. So when your gut is fermenting, it's producing a lot of acid, it's producing a lot of tension, it's irritating the bowel wall. When you take these things, these three things, and you start eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, you're just going to start getting rid of all the acids, all of the toxins. The bowels are going to start working a lot better. Kidneys are going to start working a lot better because you're eating more fruits and vegetables that are loaded with this living water. This living water is going to flush the kidneys. And as you clean your body, now I told you that we are 85 trillion cells. We're a bunch of cells bathing in fluids. Cells are going to start waking up because the fluids in which they're bathing is getting cleaner. As it gets more clean, it gets more oxygen. Then cells wake up, and then the body has the energy to repair, rebuild what needs to be repaired and rebuilt. So that's the way I've been practicing for 38 years, and it's always working. It's always working. We just need to be patient and to do the right thing. That's it.
I know we talked about raw food versus cooked food, and some people may be watching this going, now I got to give up all my cooked food. And I know that you do say that we should have some in our diet. And so what's the percentage that you think that we should keep raw versus cooked to have an optimal diet?
Well, first of all, I'm not asking people to be completely raw. So, but I'm when people come to see me, I'm always asking 80-20. A big salad, always eat the salad first, because the salad is very alkalizing. And when the body alkalizes, the body energizes. So don't eat your salad at the end of the meal. Eat your salad first, completely. Eat your salad, and then follow it with some cooked food.
That's great, great stuff, Christian. And that's where we'll wrap up. Before I do, I want to get your website. Where can we find you?
I am Christian Limoges, Instagram, Facebook, I am Christian Limoges, and Limoges.health for the products.
Right.
Limoges with an S.health.
All right. That sounds good. Christian, it's been a fascinating talk with you. Thank you so much for coming to the Vital Blend.
Thank you for having me. It was amazing.